All right. Hi, this is Michael Blue. I'm Public Library. I am doing our program today on image editing with GIMP. And excuse me. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is over Zoom and Facebook Live right now. And I'm just going to be showing some software and maybe doing a couple of basics things, and that'll probably be it. This will probably be the last presentation we'll do on this software. I think it's largely uninteresting to most. So what I'm going to do here is share my screen and we will get started. Oops. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that. So probably to get started, everybody does not know what we're talking about. The software is GIMP, G-I-M-P, which stands for the GNU Image Manipulation Program. It is gimp.org. They have a website. They have a giant download button right here. That's how you get started. There actually is a slightly newer version than what I have on this computer, but it's pretty close, so that'll be fine. So I've already done this before, so I'm actually going to just close that and start our software. So I believe our program was, let me see what we had here. Just going to go to our website very quickly. So you can see GIMP is loaded up in the background and is ready to go, just waiting for us. Just going to double check the event. We are 6 p.m. Time is 6:02 p.m. right now. You can see we're live from the Lyon Public Library and the Tech Annex downstairs. All right, posters, puzzles, and more. So we're going to start with probably just the basic, like kind of the quick and dirty way to make a poster or flyer, at least in this software. I don't really, I mean, personally, I'm not really a good graphic artist. So I'm not going to create anything amazing. In fact, usually when I do something, I'm just using some templates from Word or from some website or something. But if you were to create a poster or flyer or something, we can show you how to do that. So to get started, I'm going to go File, New, and let's just say we're doing something probably in a wide format. So we'll say maybe 1600, but you know what, we'll just say it defaulted to 1920 by 1080, so let's do that. So I just leave it at default, I click OK, it's pixels. If I was creating, you know, something else, I would pick something else. So here we go. So I have a blank canvas. One thing off the bat is I'm holding down the control key and scrolling the mouse wheel to scroll in and out. I'll be using that all the time. So let's say we'd probably start with a background or something. So you can see that we have a big toolbar over here with all these tools. One of them is a bucket fill. So we'll probably do that, and we'll pick a color like a light green or yellow or something. I don't know. I'm just picking a spot over here, and we'll just say OK. And then when I click, it'll apply, and let's just say that's our background. Now, the next thing we would probably want to do is add some text to it for our content. We'd probably have a picture and some stuff. I don't have a picture, and well, maybe I do actually. Let's see, I have some pictures right here, actually. So let's say, let's take a look at this guy right here. So here's a picture we might use for something. Let's pretend it's part of our thing. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that in there. and we'll see what we have. This is kind of beyond the scope of this discussion. Usually, everything I've read says that if you're not sure, just convert it. So now I've got this guy in here. I also want to, in this case, our example was, I'm saying that we're creating a poster. So I'm going to want some room for a number of things like some text, for example. So you'll notice we have two layers here. One, of course, is just the background, and the other is this gentleman working at the post office wearing an amazing mask. Absolutely amazing. So the first thing we're going to do probably is scale this down with the scale tool, which is this one right here. So I make sure that I have correct layer selected, and I'm just going to scale this down. And possibly maybe even more. I might even crop this or move it. All right, so let's say that is our example. Actually, let me scale that a little bit bigger. We'll do something with like the picture on one side, and we'll do some text somewhere else. So all I did was use the move tool to move, this layer around, and I used the scale tool, which is this other one, to just kind of drag the corners around, just as you would expect in pretty much anything. And actually, it's 6:06. I'm going to take 1 second and double check the. Is it that? Oh, there it is. Double check to make sure that no one is dying in the waiting room or anything like that, which doesn't appear to be the case. Looks like it's just me. It's okay. In fact, the waiting room, I believe, is disabled. So anybody wants to get in should be able to get in. I'm going to share my screen again. Right, back to our project. So next thing we probably want to do is add some text to say what our event is, or whatever the message for our poster / flyer / whatever. So there's a giant text tool, it has the letter A on it, and I'm probably just going to draw a big box. And by default, for whatever reason here, the color of our text is the same as our background. So I'm going to pick a different color, probably something darker, like, I don't know, something almost black, like down here. So, and then I'm going to start typing. Let's see, oops. Pick a color again. That's just pretty much black. Well, that's fine too. All right, and then start typing. Oops. Stop clicking on it. All right, my super, postal event. I'm going to call it that. Also, I can just highlight these if I want to and make the text bigger. And it's going to be bound to the box that I drew earlier. Also have, I believe, a centering button, which is actually off to the side over here. That's right, Justify. That's centered. And, we can change the text and things, change the font, I should say, and do all kinds of cool things. I'm not really a great designer, so we're just kind of doing the quick and dirty. So that's great. I might even do another text box down here with some kind of like a subheader, or like something with additional information. In this case, I'll probably put the date. I could stop clicking that color. It would be May, which caps lock, May 27th, 2021. And oops, keep doing that. Right. May 27th, 2021, 6 p.m. That's what time our event was. at 2433 Brook Street, downstairs. You'll notice as I was typing, kind of went outside the bounds of the box. In that case, I just need to make the box bigger so you can see all my text. I'm just dragging this around. I can use the selector tool to, looks like I can apply bold and things. Probably should have done that to the other one. So that's kind of the quick and dirty how to create an a flyer or poster. Again, this looks terrible because I'm not a graphic designer. Be some cool fonts. Normally there'd be like little flair and things like that. In fact, I could probably do, if I were to draw like a box or something. So yeah, I want to add some things. One of the things I'm going to probably do is just say it's a new layer. It kind of keeps everything separate. So I'll just do layer, new layer. I'll just call this flare. And then since I just drew a circle, I can then use that bucket fill that we used just a few minutes ago to fill that with a certain color. So I have this brown color right here. And I can add little things like that. And then I can actually, if I can just Control C, Control V, yeah, along with the move tool, and I can add little things. And normally these would be like little swirls and cool things and whatnot. But again, I'm not really a graphic designer, so that's it. But that's the quick and easy way to create something. So let's have another example. Here's the true example. I have an application that calls for a very specific image size, and I'll show you that now. So I'm going to just close this because I don't need any of it. This was just an example. Just doing File, Close All. Discard changes, doesn't matter. Now we have a clean slate. Now I'm going to do File, New, and in my example, I have an application that calls for an image that is 2100 by 288. Basically, this is our photo booth application that you've seen maybe at one of our events that we went to on site. So I put in my dimensions, and I should get a blank template. And here is basically, this is a banner that I'm going to use at the bottom of our printout. And in this example, I'm going to do something for a graduation because graduations are a thing that's happening right now. Today is, if anybody from the future happens to be watching this, today is May 27th, 2021, and we're coming up on summer, and graduations are happening all over the place. So here's a nice banner. I'm probably going to put a background on it and then say happy graduation or something like that. So to do that, first thing I'm going to do is go to Google and do an images search for graduation background, I guess. I've not tried to do this before, so if this comes out strange, it'll be embarrassing, but that's all right. All right, so, all right, perfect. So if we want to be nice, also, one thing we would probably do is use some free images, which is under images. Let's do an image search first, then we can use our tools to look for something in the Creative Commons. Okay, those are ads. All right, let's see. I was hoping for something with that. Here we go. Something just like with a bunch of hats in the background. That's perfect. So let me look at one of these. And so this is actually a kind of small resolution. Let's see if we can find something else. About graduation party. And I'm also going to change this to size large. Actually, 2100 by 288 is not very good to begin with. A bunch of ads. I'm Okay, that'll probably work right there. Well, I was tempted to kind of take a screen grab of one of these for our application, but that would, that would not be nice. So let's try this one here. All right, so let me save this. I'm just going to right click this and I'm going to say save image as. Let's go to the desktop. Let's see, graduation background. Great. If I look at my desktop, I should have my file, which is right here, and I'm going to drag this in. I'm going to say this is probably going to be our background in some manner. Now, you'll notice immediately that this thing is way too big for our application here. So we're going to use our resize tool again, scale tool. And actually, probably even a better thing to do would be to crop out the pieces that we want, which is this, yeah, so this is completely resizing. Let me reset this. Instead, we're going to go to the crop tool, which is all right. Where is the crop tool? Oh, crop tool. Aptly named. Okay, so now I can take this and now this is interesting. All right, so that moves this around. Okay, so I think we're bound within the size of the canvas that was originally created. That's why that's happening. So we could crop a middle portion like that. That would be okay, but that's not going to help us. So instead, what I'm going to try to do is, I believe there's another crop tool. So this is going to do the same. Yeah. How am I going to do that? Okay, let's see here. Well, actually, what I could do is really could just move it. All right, let's tell you what we'll do. First, we're going to scale this down a little bit. It's kind of, we're getting the entire left, right in there. Oops, of course I did it too much. Undo. Scale one more time, just a little bit. Now when I move this around, all right, it's cool. That's basically a perfect background down there. Maybe something like that. You got the hats flying in the air. It's great. So that'll be kind of our basis, and then we'll put our text over directly on top of it. Probably seems a little dark for a background, so I'm gonna probably change. I think you can do opacity change on this. Let me maximize this. Go back here. Okay, yeah, so that kind of lightens the thing that we have going on here. A good idea. Maybe we'll leave it. Now, instead, what we'll do probably is I want to put a big thing that says, happy graduation or something right across the middle. So probably what we'll do is just use the clone tool all over it. If you've seen any of my other things, I love the clone tool. So the clone tool kind of takes something and clones it somewhere else. So in this case here, I could probably take like this piece here. I'm just control clicking to set a point, and then when I left click somewhere else, it kind of just replaces it. So cool. So that gets rid of that. And it gives us a nice little spot to put our text. As you can see, it's kind of a mess a little bit because I didn't really pick a good spot, but that's okay. All right. So no one will be none the wiser that we kind of just use the clone tool all over it. I don't think. Hope not. No, you can totally see that. Let's do, just wonder if I should undo that. I'll take something from over here. And part of the problem is this like gradient changing, going from dark blue to white. Okay, let me undo all that stuff. All right. I should just be able to take a piece. Well, you know what we can actually use instead is the healing tool. I think that will actually work better. The healing tool, by contrast here, the clone tool basically gives you a verbatim one-for-one exact replica, and then you run into problems like we had just a second ago. The healing tool kind of takes consideration to what else is around. You still have a source point like here, but it takes consideration of nearby pixels and what's already there. So I end up with like a slower change, and I think eventually what will happen is this will kind of disappear. Maybe even do a bigger sample size here. Yeah. Okay, so that's really good. Something a little bit over here, but I can just do that again. All right, so that's cool. Again, we're going to have a giant wall of text that says happy graduation or something. Probably should have picked a better image to start with, but I think we're okay here. All right, and let's see. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right, so now we're going to go back to our text tool, and I almost want to move this off to the side too. Actually, I don't know. Do we need to do that? Tell you what, let's do. Well, let's try it and see. Let's go back to our tool here, and I'm just going to say it's going to go right across here. And it's going to be the color black, and it's going to say happy graduation or congratulations is kind of where I was thinking. Happy graduation, person. And you know, we could maybe do the date or something, but that's still just personal preference. So I'm going to make this bigger. Let's say 100 would be such a good number. All right. And let's say we'll bold it too. Okay. And again, as I'm doing this and making it bigger, it's starting to wrap the text. I want it to be one line, so I'm actually just gonna make this box a little bigger. Now you'll notice an immediate problem is that we kind of have this overlap of the background, which we could do a number of different things with that. Actually, that might be okay. Information person. I'm also trying to center it here, and that's sort of, you know, right now I'm kind of just guesstimating where the center is and kind of eyeballing it. If you wanted to, you could turn on what they call guides, which I believe you can do. All right, so you can go to images and then guides, new guide by percent. You can say horizontal guide by 50%, and then we'll have a blue line going across, which is just for our purposes only. And we could even make another one the other way, vertical line, 50%. And now we kind of have a good idea where our center is. And also the snap should help us too. Yeah, so you probably can't tell, but when it's kind of getting stuck on this middle line here for me. And also when I get to the right spot, up and down, it kind of sticks in there. So it's snapping to the actual center. You probably can't tell, but you're just gonna take my word for it that it is. So that's great, that's centered. In fact, we can do up snap to guide. As long as that's on, you're good. I'm gonna turn the showing of guides off because we don't need them anymore. The other thing we could possibly do with this background is make the opacity lower, and basically where you're seeing this checkerboard effect, that just kind of means there's no background there, and it'll just be the color white, which is fine in my case because I'm going to be printing out white paper anyway. So at this point, I think we would be done. I'm going to save my project. So save. I'm going to call this graduation photo booth banner. And I'm going to put this on. And I'm going to put this on the desktop. And I can also, in this case, I actually wanted a JPEG out of it, so I can do export as. I think you can actually do save as well. So by default, it's giving me PNG file. However, I actually want JPEG. So I just click this little select by file type extension, go down, select JPEG, export this guy, and all the defaults are probably good. I'm gonna click export one more time. Take a look at our file, which is right here. And oops, that's not the right one. Oh, PB banner, that's the one I wanted. And that's perfect. That will work for what I want to do. So cool, so that one's done. And then the last thing that I was going to show was a puzzle. So I'm just going to say file, close all, because we're done. We don't need that image anymore. Now we're on the clean slate. So one of the other things that I, for whatever reason, like to do is the spot the difference type puzzles, which is kind of what I always do, but it's fun and it kind of shows different things, different utilities and different tools within GIMP. So I was hoping somebody else would be here. Nobody is here. It's okay. I have some, I went to our Facebook and I looked and grabbed the last 5 pictures that were on there, and I was going to take one and just kind of edit a bunch of changes to it. Not real sure which one I'm going to do. Got this lovely picture of flowers from outside. Mural would be a good idea, except it's got a lot of, it's gonna be tough actually with the mural, because there's a lot of weird angles and stuff, and it's kind of taking it off angle. Got the guy with the book, another guy working the post office. Oh, we got the 2 chickens. The chickens might be good. They had more. Yeah, we could do stuff. Yeah, I kind of look at this and like, I could easily do the clone tool and like, add some more legs to the chickens, or change your eye colors or more feathers or something. I think probably the flowers would probably be good to do. Why? Because it's kind of straight up, it's there and it's already a vertical piece. So let's say we're going to use this. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to drag it in and say convert. Really don't know a whole lot about how the color profiles work, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to convert this guy, and he is in our image here. So again, I haven't done this in a while, but we need to expand the entire canvas out to be double size so we can copy it over, and which is under image canvas size. And I'm just going to say the width is going to be 200% of whatever it was. Or we could use math on whatever the actual resolution was. Now here, I'm going to say, I'm just going to right click this and I'm going to say, maybe I won't. Oh, I can right click over here. Yeah, the layer, the easiest way for me to do this is say duplicate layer. So I just right click on the layer panel over here. This is the layer that we just dragged in. And I'm going to say duplicate layer. Okay. So now we have another one. It's kind of hard to see because they're right on top of each other, but if I move one, I can drag this over and I have another one. From here, I can just zoom in really, really close and get it to the exact corner like that. Zoom out, and now we have two of them. For the sake of sanity, I usually rename these layers because I can confuse myself later on. So this one I'm going to call right. And this one I'm going to just right click, edit layer attributes. And I'm just going to change the name right here where it has this very long name, which is whatever the file name was. This is just for our layer purposes. I'm gonna call this left. Right, so left, right. So perfect. Okay, so now usually when I make a puzzle like this, I just make sure that's what I said, right? Puzzles, and more. All right. Well, the EM more was the last one we did. So here, usually the easiest for me is just to use the clone tool all over everything. It's easy. So the first thing we can do, now normally I keep the original on the left, make changes to the right. An easy thing to do would be probably take away some of the brickwork or something. We could also probably change the color of one of these flowers, maybe add some flowers. In fact, actually, we could probably take this and make another one. Yeah, let's just do that. So we got two options here. Either we can use clone tool or we can probably cut and paste that, copy and paste rather. Yeah, let's do, let's do that. So if you want to make a very fine selection, by default, you got this rectangle select and oval select, which is nice, but it's not going to help us a whole lot. What we really need is to make, they have a freehand select too, which I think is this lasso looking thing, in which case we could go in and try to have a steady hand and take that and copy it and paste it. Control C, Control V, and then, you'd have it. It's not a real good way to do it. There's a better way, which is the pass tool, which I'm just going to say select none to get rid of my area selection. And I can basically just kind of click around. Again, we're zoomed in really, really close here, so we don't have to be perfect because in the grand scheme of things, nobody's going to notice. So I click all those points and I hit the enter key and it makes a selection. Now I'm going to say edit copy, or Control C, and I'm going to paste. I'm actually going to paste this as a new layer. For whatever reason, I like having stuff as different layers. It says pasted layer. I'm actually going to change that name to flower. And we can use our move tool. Oops. Select none. Oops. How do I have that? Oh, I had something selected when I. Oops. Wait, is it because? Oops. Okay. Great, except I did a whole bunch of things to my layer. So let me actually do that again. So we want to path select. Actually, it's probably easier if I go back and all right, let's just delete that whole thing. Delete layer. Now we got this. Edit, copy, edit, paste as new layer. Okay, so also this on the right here, this is sort of the hierarchy of what you see. So I want to make sure that the thing I'm going to paste is going to be on top of the layer that I'm going to put it over, because otherwise I won't be able to see it. So I just click the up and down arrow to change this order of operations here. When I move this, oops, I think I'm losing it. Where's the circle coming from? Right. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. That's weird. Okay, let's do that again. This is, sort of the fun part about doing a live presentation. Because sometimes you do goofy things and you think like, wait, what am I doing? How did this happen? All right, so let's start over. So pass tool, I must have had something selected. Anyway, so let's do this again. Just kind of clicking around, trying to get close. All right, so copy the right layer selected. Paste as layer. And move this around. Yeah, I don't know what was going on the first time. Anyway, okay, so since I rushed that, of course, naturally, I screwed up the selection, and now there's like a piece of the concrete. So basically, I'm just going to fix that. I'm just going to do the select again. Oops. Select none. I have the pass tool. That's great. Select none. Okay. One of those days. All right. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get in close, and I'm just a little bit more mindful about what I'm actually clicking on. And I'm gonna grab some of the top part too. Hit the enter key, grab the selection, edit copy, edit paste as a new layer. Move the new layer over, and cool. There we go. Now I can add this guy like right in here or something. And for the sake of this, I'm going to call this flower. Zoom out, edit, select, maybe use the tool. All right, so that actually looks kind of bad because there's an exact duplicate right next to it. So one of the things we could do is we could resize it, or we could rotate it. Like we could do rotate perhaps. Yeah, maybe just rotate this a little bit. So that's at least different. And hide them over here or something. Oh, at least it looks different. Now it's just, when we look at this, it's just, there's an extra flower there that wasn't there before. Cool, right? All right. Now we can do something with these. Actually, I'm going to save my project too. Save. And I'm going to call this spot difference puzzle. Only the XCF format is the one that GIMP uses, and I don't remember what it stands for. But it's not important. So next thing I'll do is probably something with these branches here. Yeah, I think we could probably just, I say that, if this was a solid background, we could just clone all over it, but it's not. So it's not an option. So we might have to either do the same thing or let's see. Here, let's do something with one of these flowers first. I think we said we were going to change the color something. And this has such a deep purple and a deep pink that will work wonderfully. Okay, so the way to do that is to make a new layer. I'm going to call this color. And basically it's nothing yet. There really isn't anything there. What I can do is our same pass tool that we did before. And trying to be careful. I don't have to be that careful, but it'll look better if we are. Okay. So now we've got a selection. Now the trick here is that we're just going to paste or really paint a giant color all over it. So we could probably even use the fill tool, and this is our foreground color and our background color. I'm going to change this from this ugly color that it was before to here's a red that's already there. And I can just put red all over it. Now it looks like we've destroyed the image, but remember, we only applied this to our one layer called color. And the trick here is to see where this says mode over here and mode is normal. You can change this to an overlay and the colors changed. And our opacity here will kind of tell us how much it's actually changed. So again, zero opacity would be no change at all. It's the original. 100% would be completely different. Now it's like a deep red. So that's our kind of difficulty marker. I'm going to set it kind of high so it's you can tell that it's different. So cool. Let me just say select none. Okay, so cool. So that thing's different. A little more red. All right, so that's usually these have 5 differences on them. So that was 1. That's 2. Probably do all this brickwork here. We'll probably just do a quick clone on that. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to make my brush size smaller so I have a smaller circle that I'm working with. And basically all I have to do is kind of overwrite some of these lines, which, yeah, could probably just pick a spot here. Again, I'm just control clicking to find a spot to start on. And then I'm going to, oops, do that. I think I'm on the wrong side. No, I'm on the right side, but I am on the wrong layer. So we're working on the right layer. Make sure I have that one selected. Go back in. Otherwise, we'd be looking at, we're cloning nothing. So make sure we're on the right layer. And I'm just going to modify this right side layer, the one that we called right directly because it's easy. So control click and right, yeah. And if you don't remember to control click, there's directions right at the bottom. It says right underneath my cursor, click to clone, control to set a new clone source. So if you forget, like you're thinking, how am I going to remember these hotkeys? It tells you. So I'm just getting rid of this. All right. Perhaps I should get rid of more. I didn't actually, I probably should have used the healing tool like we did earlier, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll have just a giant Tetris T block. And you kind of zoomed out that far, you're probably not going to notice a whole lot. Or I could have, I wonder if I should have just added lines to it. That probably would have been better. But either way, let's just say that's fine. Actually does look kind of bad. Tell you what, let's try to use the clone tool, the healing tool rather. We'll set this as a marker and kind of just blend the salt, blend this guy all together. Yeah, minor spot in the brickwork, that's all. Just some quick tuck work and we'll fix that. All right, so let's say, so that's another one. And yeah, I still want to do something with these branches here. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we just try to use the clone tool on it. So clone tool, right side layer, maybe a little bigger brush. Say this is our sample right here. What would this look like? That might actually work. Yeah, just an extra branch, no big deal. Maybe I'll even fix that up a little bit. Oops. Oh, I actually didn't mean to do that, but that's cool. I did not mean to go that far up, but that's cool. That's just an extra branch. Okay. Save this again. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we got 4. Probably should do something in the pot here. Well, we could just copy and paste the flower again. It worked the first time. Clone something maybe. Let's see. Of like color change that we did earlier, maybe it was something else. If we have enough of anything, this would be a great candidate, but there's so much stuff in front of it, it's going to take forever. This piece would probably work really good. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'm just going right up close to our target flower. I'm going to make a new layer just like we did before. Right click, new layer, and I'm going to call this color 2. All right, I'm going to use our pass tool again and make sure I'm in the right layer. And actually, it really doesn't matter yet. So I'm going to click around a bunch and try to kind of easily select the flower petal. Now, there's other ways to do this too. There's an intelligent select tool, I believe it's called intelligent scissors select. It's okay. Doesn't, to me, it's easier for me to kind of just click a bunch and I know exactly what I'm getting. So again, now that we have that selected, I'm going to go back to our color 2 and we're going to paint a color all over it with the bucket tool, possibly yellow, dark yellow. All right, so it looks like we ruined it, but again, we're just only applying it to this layer here. And then we can change this mode to an overlay layer. And now we have a very orange looking flower petal. Turn down the opacity to make it not so obvious. And I kind of have these marching ants around here. I'm just going to select none and then change the tool. And oh, so here we go. At that point, our puzzle is done. Let's see, it is about 6:47. So I'm just thinking we'll be done then, and then we got our 1, we got our 2, we got our 3, we got our 4, and we have our 5. So finally, I can export this as a puzzle done. Defaults are fine. Let's go look at our finished product, which is puzzledone.jpg. And cool. That'd be a fun thing to post. In fact, we'll put that on Facebook, and if anybody's seen the video, then it'll be super obvious. And it'll be great. So I'll close that, and at this point we have shown kind of a generic poster. Just did a puzzle, and the more I think was the graduation cap thing. And so that's it. That's great. That's probably our last. It's our last program for GIMP. Yeah. So I'll do something cooler next time, though. It'll be great, I'm sure. I look like I'm sweating. Not really sweating. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this is Michael Blue Lion Public Library. We will see you next time.